Hello everyone, my name's Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. So it's very typical that the one day I prepare a video in advance, they decide to drop an article on Warhammer community. But hey ho, I guess that means for you guys it's double video night. So, Mysteries of the Mortal Realms. Now, my mind is doing overtime reading this article. It seems to be teasing a whole host of different things. Most of it is incredibly cryptic, so quite honestly, I have no idea about most of it. But there are a few things I think that strengthen the rumour and predictions video I made, I don't know, last week or earlier this week, whenever it was. Time moves strangely in lockdown. But yeah, obviously, all rumours, all very cryptic. Take it with a pinch of salt because I have no idea. I'm going to whiz through the article. I'm not going to spend too long on it. If I have some particularly good thoughts about what this could mean, I will come back and make a follow-up video. But the premise of the article is that a reporter is looking at the mysteries in the realms that have yet to be uncovered. So first of all, the Azerheim Crier is the name of the paper. I don't know if we're supposed to be reading into the free Haitian pet rock for every reader. I don't know. A teaser for some scenery for the Lumineth Realm Lords, maybe? That might be going a bit far. But what Sigmar isn't telling you about the Mortal Realms. So it's no secret that there are things in the storyline that have not been fleshed out even remotely in Age of Sigmar. It says here, dark secrets await the unwary and mysteries exist to be unravelled. So first thing it brings up, and this is a strange one to start with, where did realm gates come from? We all accept the existence of them as a way to travel around, but who built them? What is their true purpose? What are we not being told? So many of the realm gates we use depict the glories of Sigmar and his so-called ally Dracothean, which actually they bring up down below, meaning they must have been built recently, but by whom? And how did the God King travel to the realms in the first place? Well, in the story we've been given so far, he travelled on Malus, which was known as the Broken World. So what you are looking at here is basically the old world from Warhammer Fantasy that flew through space as a destroyed, burning wreck after the Chaos Gods had had their way with it. And apparently Sigmar was clutching to that burning fireball all the way to the realms, and he was travelling on it for millennia. So perhaps there is more to this story. Perhaps we're about to find out about that. And it seems to very much involve Dracothean, which is the Great Star Drake. And in fact, this picture here, coincidentally, is the only official image I believe we've seen that we can confirm to represent Dracothean so far. Funnily enough, in my video I made, I actually showed that picture of Dracothean. I'm not sure why. Pure coincidence, I promise you, but could this be teasing something new coming from Sigmar? Could it be something to do with new Stormcast Eternals? It would certainly fit the rumour engine. There are a lot of people suggesting we could be getting a new Storm host at some point soon. But yeah, back to the article. Does Bugmans Brewery exist? As it says here, the name Bugman echoes across the realms. Some claim the name is even older than the realms themselves. Now that is true. Bugman has been around for a long time. I mostly knew about Bugman from the paint, but yeah, Bugman dates back to fantasy. He's an interesting character and well worth looking up, but basically the legendary master brewer from the Empire in Warhammer Fantasy, who apparently could make ale better than anyone else could. That's saying something if it's coming from a dwarf. Why are they bringing this up now? I have no idea. So rumour has it somewhere in the realms exists a mythical source of ale, purer and tastier than anything found even in our own realm of heavens. Dwarden pilgrims, so dwarf pilgrims across the realms, assured me that Bugman appears to them in times of need, providing life-restoring brews as refreshing as mountain spring water. So are we going to see a model for Bugman? Is it teasing something to do with dwarves? Hard to say at the moment. Is Dracothean real? Our oldest stories tell us that Sigmar was saved from the endless void by Dracothean, the great Drake. Together they tamed the realms. Their eternal friendship is the stuff of legends. So where is Dracothean? The Star Drakes and Dracoths ridden by the God King Stormcast Eternals are said to be the God Beast children, but they have an absent father. With Chaos and Death ascendant, surely Dracothean is needed more than ever. Questions must be answered. Now, as far as I was aware in the storyline, Dracothean is absolutely enormous. He is a god beast. So literally, if you were to stand in the realms, you could actually see him in space. He's that big. I wasn't aware that he was actually missing, and I'm gonna have to go back and check through the lore, but there very definitely have been references to him still being around. But I always assumed that the fact he was missing is the fact that he's enormous and therefore not something you could ever represent on the tabletop. So what do you guys think this means? Is it something to do with more Stormcasts? Are we going to see a model for him? I have no idea. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Has Slaanesh escaped? That's our next article. Redacted by order of Azir for reasons of maintaining moral purity. Now, we knew this was going to happen imminently. In the last massive book that they brought out, the Wrath of the Everchosen, I think it was called, Archaon decides to go and try and free Slaanesh. Why would he possibly want to do that? Well, the other Chaos Gods blessed him with their favour. That's part of the reason why Archaon and Dorgar are so powerful at the moment. And the one god that hasn't rewarded him yet is Slaanesh because he was imprisoned. It doesn't take much of a leap to think that Slaanesh is going to be extremely generous with rewarding someone who frees him from his prison. So in the last second before Archaon frees him, his realm gets invaded. The Varanspire is under attack from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, and he has to rush back and defend his home. But there are rumours that Slaanesh, because he's kind of quite good at deceiving people, has actually been slowly freeing himself from his chains all along, and that a lot of the chains that you see when you're looking at his imprisonment are actually illusions of magic that he's cast around himself. Now, this is obviously very important from a plot perspective, but what does it mean in terms of the game and the models? Hopefully something big, but we'll have to wait and see. I can't really see new models being on the horizon, seeing as we've just had a massive Slaanesh release relatively recently, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. What is Ergold? The Fyreslayer lodges basically hoard Ergold. They use it to create their runes. Now, the important thing is that they believe that if you collect all of the Ergold in the realms, something amazing will happen. It doesn't tell you specifically here what that amazing thing is. But yeah, what they believe will happen is that they will resurrect their god, Grimnir. This is the only artwork we've seen of him so far, but essentially when Grimnir was defeated by fighting this creature you see here, Volcatrix, he basically exploded and all of his essence was scattered around the realms as the Ergold, which is why the Fyreslayers are so keen to collect it. So sadly I was discovered, my Ergold removed, and I was cast out before I could learn more. That means anything could happen. So do you know what? I would absolutely love it if they progress the storyline of the Mortal Realms to basically bring back Grimnir. It would literally mean one of the gods of the realms was returning, and I would be all for that. I feel there are too many gods in Age of Sigmar that are either dead or they're only represented now by some kind of avatar, like a Eidolon of Mathlan or Cain. At the moment, Grimnir, but yeah, it would be great if they brought him back. Could this be teasing more Fyreslayers? Again, they are a faction that is in dire need of new models. Do giant lizards live on the Bad Moon? They're talking about the fact that both the Bad Moon comes from space and so do the Lizardmen. The two must be connected. Nope, that's a horrendous argument. But one thing I did talk about in my rumour video is this rumour engine picture that we've seen so far, which is very clearly to do with the Seraphon. So again, it is teasing the possibility of more Seraphon models. Everything seems to be neatly coming together, and that's very exciting. Now finally, the age-old question that I myself have pondered so many times. Where is Malarion? Terrible secret discovered. This is the most cryptic and teaserish thing of the entire article. Perhaps the greatest question of all. Where is the God of Shadows? A hero of the Age of Myth, a key member of Sigmar's holy pantheon, Malarion has vanished, seemingly without a trace. Now, we have been waiting so long for news of Malarion. Where is he? Where's his faction? We have one piece of artwork so far of Malarion, which has been around since first edition. I believe this is in the very first proper book they released for Age of Sigmar, the Mighty Battles in an Age of Unending War, whatever it was called. But here we go. Turns out it's all a lie. Within the mists of darkest Ulgu, your brave reporter discovered a terrible secret. There might not even be a Malarion. Now, that is a really bizarre thing for them to say in an article. What does that mean? Why would there not be a Malarion? We know that Malarion, in theory, is what's left over of Malekith. The reason we know that is because in the very same book that this artwork comes from, it says that he stumbled upon Morathi, who had been his mother in the world that was. Morathi obviously being Malekith's mother in Warhammer Fantasy. The only other real mention or update we had on his lore was when this image came out, the new Elven Pantheon, which said that with command over the wind of Ulgu, Malarion prefers to keep to himself and holds his realm in an iron grip. So it seems a little bit strange that now they're suggesting he doesn't exist, and it's right around the time that all of the channels, myself included, are talking about the possibility of him making a return to the realms. And again, they have an image of Morathi, so if anyone was going to be lying about the existence of Malarion, it would be Morathi. She's the one who has deceived all of the daughters of Cain into believing that Cain still is alive and that they should be worshipping him. But surely this can't be happening. Like, I don't understand. There must be more to this story. They must be about to tease something imminently. But what do you guys think? Do you think that there is a big reveal for Malarion on the horizon? Do you think Games Workshop have done a bit of a cop-out and they've just decided, yeah, he doesn't exist anymore? But it's certainly bizarre, it's certainly cryptic, and I feel like this is teasing something. There's also a little teaser down below as to what might be going on here. That it says the author of this article was found dead in his office, no blood to be found despite several wounds. It certainly makes it sound like the assassins of Morathi have come and killed him for uncovering a truth. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Pantheon, the lore, the storyline, and my attachment to these characters from the Warhammer Fantasy, I would be really disappointed if it actually does turn out that Malarion is not going to be returning as a character. I had all these hopes for a kind of dragon-infused, dark elf-inspired race coming from the Realm of Shadow. But yeah, give me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I will speak to you guys really soon.